Good day, everyone. My name is Jethro Capino, a geologist from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Mines and Geosciences Bureau, and I'll be presenting on behalf of my division, the Lands Geological Survey Division. Please be guided by the outline of my presentation. Due to the distinct geologic and climatic conditions of the country that gave rise to its hazard-prone and mineral-rich nature, the Philippine government mandated the DENR-MGB to implement various geosciences programs and act as the steward of its mineral resources, to administer and dispose of its mineral lands and resources. Our division in particular undertakes numerous programs, projects, and activities under these flagship programs of our mother department. 001 is focused on geologic mapping, mineral resource development and reserve management, and geological laboratory services. 003, on the other hand, includes geohazard and groundwater assessments and mapping programs centered on risk reduction and resiliency. Other activities on information systems management, national and international linkages coordination, and research and development constitute the support to operations. But with the occurrence of disastrous hazard events in the past and the already present threats of climate change, it is imperative for the Philippine government to maintain and strengthen its national geohazard assessment and mapping program. The program has two main objectives, one of which is identifying which areas in the country are susceptible or vulnerable to various geologic hazards. And the other equally important objective is the public awareness component of the program, which aims to mitigate the negative impacts and for more rational development, planning, and disaster management. First off is the susceptibility assessment and mapping of DNR-MGB's mandate, which are rain-induced landslide and flood hazards. This activity started off at a 1 is to 50,000 scale and immediately followed by the more detailed 1 is to 10,000 scale that concluded in 2014. Since then, the Bureau has been updating these maps due to the dynamic nature of Earth's surface processes. After generating the geohazard susceptibility maps, DNR-MGB launched its offshoot vulnerability and risk assessment. However, at its current state, it is limited to risk exposure assessment of certain elements at risk, such as road network, built-up areas, and population, to rain-induced landslide and flood. Last of the hazard identification project of DNR-MGB is the Karst Subsidence Hazard Assessment, which was prompted by the widespread occurrence of sinkhole collapse in Bohol Island following the 2013 earthquake. To achieve the second objective of the program, the outputs of these projects are promptly and systematically relayed to relevant stakeholders, which is the local government units, through the intensive information, education, and communication campaign. This endeavor is being conducted at the provincial and municipal city levels through lectures and workshops on basic geohazard information and map reading skills. Apart from the maps and reports, other paraphernalia such as posters and flyers were likewise provided to the local government and communities. Recently, we have translated these posters and flyers to 9 major Philippine languages to effectively cascade these information to wider audiences. One critical application of DNR-MGB's geohazard maps is for early warning and forecast during potentially disastrous weather systems. Using said maps, the Bureau's Geohazard Operations Center, or OPSEN, is able to generate a list of barangays or villages that may experience rain-induced landslide and flood based on forecast rainfall from the State Weather Bureau. This list is widely disseminated to our regional offices and other government agencies to activate appropriate protocols. Following disastrous hazard events, the DNR-MGB also conducts assessment, particularly for suitability of temporary shelters, resettlement sites, and evacuation centers. The DNR-MGB maps are also publicly available through our own online map portal and other multi-hazard interagency platform, such as the Hazard Hunter PH. All these programs, projects, and activities of the Bureau are made successful due to a variety of reasons. I have categorized the enabling mechanisms into 3: institutionalized structures in place, science-informed policies and reforms, and the robust partnership with other agencies and local government. The Philippine government's efforts on disaster risk reduction and management is harmoniously integrated through the formation of the National DRRM Council. It is led by the Secretary of National Defense, and the DNR is part of its 14 line department members. Guided with a national DRRM plan, member agencies and organizations are able to coordinate and collaborate on programs, projects, and activities to effectively achieve disaster resilience. Furthermore, by virtue of these NDRMC memorandum circulars, the DNR-MGB is institutionalized as one of the technical warning agencies with focus on rain-induced landslide and flood. In the conduct of pre-disaster risk assessment or PIDRA, based on forecast situation, regions activate appropriate alert levels with their corresponding recommended actions. DNR-MGB regional offices likewise participate in regional PIDRAs and issue more localized warnings and recommendations to regional counterparts of national government agencies and the local government unit. DNR-MGB Geohazard Operations Center is the unit primarily involved in the conduct of PIDRA. Internally, the OPCEN has its own information and communication protocol in place, from its central office to its 15 regional offices and their corresponding bureau special orders. The communication flow to external formations and organizations are also in place. This ensures that timely and vital geohazard information is promptly disseminated to proper channels and its most important beneficiary, the public. Also, this allows the top management to be informed with real-time updates and execute necessary action. Moving on to policies. Landmark policy reforms often resulted from historical disastrous hazard events. Following the Cherry Hill subdivision landslide in August 1999, the DNR issued an administrative order in 2000, which requires housing, land development, and other infrastructure projects to undergo engineering, geological, and geohazard assessment, or EGA, which shall be reviewed by DNR-MGB. After Tropical Storm Ondoy devastated the country's capital of Metro Manila in September 2009, the Republic Act 10121, or the Philippine DRRM Act of 2010, was passed, which also led to the formation of the NDRMC later that same year. The onslaught of Super Typhoon Yolanda in November 2013 drew international attention as the then strongest typhoon in terms of wind speed to make landfall in recorded history. This led to several agencies to draft a joint memorandum circular that states that the suitability of the site shall be based on the MGB's flood and landslide susceptibility zonation and the corresponding recommended actions. The direct beneficiaries of the outputs of the Bureau are the local government units. But in order for them to find value in our work, we must work tirelessly to reach them and streamline the ways our maps and reports are assimilated in their DRRM plans and programs. The Department of Interior and Local Government has been a great help to us. Through the issuance of a 2015 Memorandum Circular on Mainstreaming Climate Change Adaptation and Mitigation and Disaster Risk Reduction, or CCAM-DRR, in local development and planning, the DNR-MGB maps are advised to be used as base maps and reference, especially in the Comprehensive Land Use Plan. Furthermore, a 2021 advisory requires barangays or villages to utilize the DNR-MGB threat advisories in formulating or updating their contingency plans. Also, amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, we sought the aid of DILG to allow our assessment teams to push through with the field surveys of our regular projects, despite the raised level of community quarantine. These mechanisms allow DNR-MGB to effectively fulfill its mandate as a geological survey organization that strengthens policies with vital geoscientific information and cultivates a collaborative whole-of-nation approach to achieving disaster resilience. It is also clear to us as public servants that the scientific endeavor we pursue must be on par with our international counterparts, because that's what the Filipino people deserve. So we recently updated a roadmap for the various programs of our division. Although these statements are just broad statements, what this basically tells you is that we will continue to strive to improve and enhance our methodologies and products, making them more climate change adaptive. Another aspect we want to strengthen is collaboration, not just with our current partners within the NDRMC, but also to international organizations who share the same vision as DNR-MGB. We hope this webinar is just the start of a beautiful friendship. We would like to thank the world community of geological surveys and the global earthquake model for allowing us to share our experience, and we hope to gain your support in our three-phase roadmap. Thank you and have a good day.